How's it going? Today's video, I wanted to talk about a couple things that when I was first diagnosed with ADHD, things I started kind of looking into what is ADHD all about. And one of them, so two, I was put to two of them that I was like, no, there's like, that's not me. I definitely don't have to worry about that. One was time blindness, which I think in a past video, I might have talked about how I thought I didn't have the time blindness because I value people's time. So if I have an appointment for something, I usually make sure that I am early. Like to me, late or on time is late type of thing. But there's, but then I found out there's more to time blindness than just not being late for appointments. And I definitely do have time blindness. The biggest time blindness I have that I didn't even think about when I first saw the whole thing about time blindness is the aware of how much time goes by, I guess is another way to look at it. And I'm bringing this up because it's going to kind of flow into the next thing is so I had a job at a gym for about 13 years and then got fired, and time went by and I didn't have another job. I didn't have any income coming into the house. And so my wife was finally like, when are you going to start looking for a job? You haven't brought in any money in the past 5 months. And that blew me away. Like in my mind, it literally felt like it was barely, like, not even 2 months yet from when I got fired. So like in my mind, I was like still, trying to, figure out where I'm going to go to next. Am I going to try to do my own thing? Am I going to try to, look for at a gym? I was still a little bummed out about getting fired. So like in my mind, it literally was like 6 weeks have went by. Not saying that that's an excuse. I should have found a job right away, but that's also going to lead into the next thing. That's why I'm bringing this up with another thing that I didn't think that I had, but I definitely have it very badly, which is RSD. When I saw RSD, which is rejection, so I looked it up. So rejection sensitive dysphoria. Basically, I'll just read it. It says a common experience linked to ADHD. It causes extreme, painful emotional reaction to real or imagined rejection, criticism, or failure. So when I first saw that, I was like, well, that's not something that I deal with because, and for some reason, the only thing that I like looked at that as far as like I really don't care what people think about me. I'm sure that that's probably something that I was able to cope with or started to use as a kid to cope with things as far as like things with ADHD. But for some reason, that's the only thing I associated with. That's probably the best word to use is associate. RSD was like worrying about what people thought about me. But it really has a lot more than that and has something that now, again, looking back, connecting the dots, I struggle with probably just as much, possibly even more than the executive functioning. So going back to looking back when I was a kid, as far as like the number one thing I can look at with RSD is I shouldn't say never, because this doesn't help. I probably maybe have asked two girls out in my life without knowing whether or not they actually would want to go out with me on a date first. Any other girlfriend, date I've ever had, and I'm talking about my whole life, not just as a kid. Like I always like joked around that and this is like another way you can probably look at it. Like I always looked at this stuff. I didn't look at this as like an RSD as a rejection dysphoria type of thing, sensitivity dysphoria. I always looked at it like I'm just immature. So that's another thing that I always kind of told myself or always believed that I think it was ADHD, was really the problem. But I always kind of looked at myself like I'm just immature. I don't know. I just need to start acting more mature. I never asked a girl out on a date or to be my girlfriend or whatever unless I absolutely knew for sure that they were going to say yes. So that is definitely one thing, the RSD that I had. Um, just anything that I ever wanted to try that I wasn't, say, already good at would be, I would consider that probably another thing of RSD, is just a being not thinking about it, not realizing it, but being afraid of failing because that would just, you know, prove that I was no good, like that I was either dumb or lazy or immature. Um, so if there was something I wanted to do, but you didn't already know how to do it, or didn't feel like I would be good at it right away, I wouldn't even do it. Or something that I would want to maybe take something a step further, but I would, so say, like, say skiing would be a perfect example. Like when I was a kid, all I wanted to do was be in ski videos. Not saying that I am good enough to be a skier, but like as a kid, I was probably one of the better skiers on the mountain that I grew up, where I grew up. So I always kind of looked at it like, I could always get better. And I always kind of felt like I had the ability, but as I got older, I just kind of never followed through on it, probably because as a kid, just that whole dream of being in ski videos when I got older, if I tried and I failed, then I knew that I wasn't good enough. Where if I just always kind of kept that dream and always like that what if I didn't really try, then I could always tell myself, well, I just never put the effort into it. So maybe I could have done that, but I just never put the effort in. So that's definitely another thing that I believe how that the RSD affected my life. But the bigger one, and the reason that again I started off with that time blindness and talking my wife telling me, when am I going to get a job? I haven't brought any money in 5 months. The I think a big part of that also is RSD, and the the worrying about either a not getting a job and failing right off the bat, of not being able to get a job, and then the pain that that causes me to be because it's like the rejection of the pain, the inside pain, and how I know probably from the past, again and again, not realizing this, just starting to put everything together, is like would send me in a spiral, a downward spiral, into probably a depression. I just never really thought, like, realized it, never been um, diagnosed with depression. I don't think I'm depressed now, but I think that I can fall into a depression to say, a if I apply for a job and don't get it, and then another fear is if I had a job and I don't, like, it's a, so like say it's a job that I would, any job for like a training job as a personal trainer, I'll apply anywhere, because I know that I feel comfortable. I know that I'm a good coach. I know that I'm a good trainer. But if it's something that I've never done before and I don't know what it's really kind of going to be, like say a job at FedEx or UPS or Target or Walmart or something like that. It's not that I don't want that job, not that, and I wouldn't want to work there. It's just that, like, I literally get so afraid that I'm gonna not do, and I'm gonna embarrass myself. So I guess that's another way to look at it too. It's not just failure, but like in like it's the perceived part of the RSD, where again I'll find that definition again real quick. Imagined. So either real or imagined. So I already imagine that I'm not going to do well at the job, and I'm going to imagine the criticism that I'm going to get, the rejection, and the failure that I'm going to feel if I get a job that I don't know what I'm doing and I'm not going to be able to do it. So yeah, this is just another quick video I wanted to make, just like for people, like if these are like things that you feel that maybe that's what it is, and you don't realize that maybe that you never checked to see if you had ADHD. If you have any of these things that's happened to you in the past, or you're going through it now, again, afraid to ask a girl out or whoever, ask someone out, ask someone that you want to date, And you don't because you're too afraid that they're going to say no. If you're too afraid to start something that you kind of are interested in, but you're afraid that you're not going to be good at it, or afraid to get a job or anything that you feel that you wouldn't be good at, and then you're going to be criticized. Like again, you already have this imagined what is going to happen. That's why they call it like a dysphoria, because this is definitely all in your head. It's not reality. I mean, reality could be, yeah, I could go for that job. I could either not get it, but big deal. So I didn't get it. And I know this. But even now, if I were to stop this video and start hunting for a job, there's still going to be like this, I'm going to get this like rock in my gut to apply for it. But I need to push past that, and I need to push past being afraid because I don't know what the job is. Like, I'm going to have to try to learn. I'm going to have to learn something new for this job that I know deep down inside I'm going to be able to do, because I'm not dumb. I am smart. I can figure things out. But it's just this thing that I have, this RSD that gets triggered by the ADHD. I don't know if triggered is the right word, that keeps me from doing it, even though I know that I have to do it. But I know that I'm going to wind up doing it because it's going to like the urgency is there now that I have to get this job. I have to get a job. So if these are things that you're going through, maybe look into, speaking to a therapist or a psychiatrist. I would say, a doctor, someone, if it's something you think you're going to want to take medication for, I would start off right away with someone that can prescribe medication. But again, just short video. Again, not an expert. This isn't medical advice or anything like that, just my own personal experience. So I hope this helps. And I also hope for maybe people that don't have ADHD, but know people that have it, that, again, are just like, oh, just try harder. That's not going to work. Don't do that. You're not helping. You're making it worse, to be completely honest, because then people are going to spiral down into like, we have good days, we have better days, we have bad days, we have worse days. You're going to turn it into a worse day. So don't do that to someone. Trust me, I've been there. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. It fucking sucks. All right. Thanks for watching, and talk to you soon.